38-31, the final score as the Cowboys fall to the Seattle Seahawks up at CenturyLink Field. Here's what Mike McCarthy had to say after the game.
Mike, can you talk about that last sequence there when you're in a position to potentially tie it with 25 seconds left and just the offensive plays and what didn't connect for you at that time?
Well, I mean, they were playing, pure zone coverage, and really just trying to get it done with the pass rush. And, obviously at the beginning of the drive, we were able to get down there, cleanly. But, it just, protection-wise, Dak had to move his feet on a couple plays there, and it came down to really he made a tremendous play staying on his feet, for the last play to get the ball thrown into the end zone. So, execution, particularly playing a little uphill at that spot. But we had the 3 timeouts. We'll be better next time for it.
Mike, you mentioned Russell Wilson and the issues that he gave by getting out of the pocket. Was it by design to kind of do a little mush rush to keep him hemmed in a little bit and cover behind for most of the game?
It was part of it. Part of it was self-scout and just something that we felt we could do more of. I thought for the most part we did a great job keeping him in the pocket. I thought the challenge of the second reaction rush was a bit challenging. The way the play was extended in a way they were able to hold on to us and extend those plays even when we did a great job keeping them in the pocket. So I thought it was a good plan.
Mike, you mentioned the turnover ratio. Can you talk about the turnover at the end of the first half and then the turnover to come out to start the third quarter and just what that did for the dynamic of the game at that point?
Well, I mean, the one before the half is, you're looking to go in and get a score going in and score coming out. That's always a huge momentum opportunity as a football team. That's part of why that's part of the equation why we defer in the coin toss. So I mean, to me, it is. Everybody's known for something, and we will always start and stop with the ability to take care of the football and take it away. And we haven't gotten that done the last 2 weeks, and we will need to change that quickly. Where we're going to be into these battles each week. It's difficult to overcome turnovers. So, but yeah, I would say the one before the half, the route was undercut, and then in one to start the half, it looked like we had a protection issue there.
Can you talk defensively about what you did there on that when they scored on that final possession where you had them on 3rd and 3 and stopped, and then the 4th down, and they were able to get out there?
I mean, they did a good job on the 4th down, extend the play. So good execution on their part, and they hit the backside hole on the post for the big play for the touchdown. I thought that we did a poor job on the 2-point play, on the quarterback keep, but. They made more key plays than we did. I think when they, you look at the numbers, and I haven't seen them yet, but we had a lot of production. But they're the key plays in the game that they got to give those guys credit.
I think that's a huge point made by Mike McCarthy there. Obviously disappointed because like you said, the productions, the stats, everything that doesn't count are there. But what counts on the scoreboard, they just didn't make the right plays at the right time.
I mean, you just go through the whole game, like you said, coming out in the second half, man, and third quarters had to be spoken about with the offensive coordinator and talking to the quarterback and talking to the offensive line, Coach Philman. Hey, man, we cannot give them a big play to spark them. And what we come out and do, we get a fumble. A fumble, interception. I don't know what you call it. But we turn the ball over, and they go right into the end zone. In the first half, we throw an interception. You can't do this against the better teams. They came out to set tempo, and that's what Russell Wilson and that group does. They come out to set tempo, and their defense just hang in there and punch you when they can.
Yeah, they wanted to come out. They wanted to set the tempo on the offensive side of the football, and then they set the tone on the defensive side when it came to that third quarter and the big play right at the beginning. When we come back, we hear more from the players after the 38-31 loss to Seattle on the road. More reaction when we come back on Cowboys OT. A pretty uncharacteristic day for Ezekiel Elliott as he's held to just 34 yards on the ground, 24 through the air on 12 targets, 6 receptions. Let's hear from what the tailback had to say following the loss.
Hey, Zeke, can you just elaborate on the adjustments you all made on the second half that allowed the offense to get going a little bit better?
We knew that they were their main goal was to stop the run. So I mean, just second half we got in the locker room and just knew we had to throw them out of it. So we came out slinging it.
Seems like it seemed like screen passes were a big part of the game plan. What did y'all see that led to y'all wanting to try that, and what were they doing to limit them so much?
Well, they're a team that presses a lot, so screens is normally a good option. But they were good at sniffing out the screens and making plays on them. One we probably had the most room on. I dropped that one, so I got to focus up, make a better play, and finish that. But yeah.
Zeke, how hard was it just you had some offensive line changes there throughout that ball game? How difficult was that just to get through that in this contest?
It's tough. We haven't had the best luck with the O-line this year. A lot of guys hurt. But those guys, I want to say those guys did a great job. Just everything that's been thrown at them, they still went out there and played well. I think Zach had to move the right tackle, and Joe ended up moving the right guard, and Tyler, the rookie Tyler, came in and played at center, and I think they did a good job just battling those injuries, those hurt.
Zeke, it seemed like you were really embracing the pass protection role there throughout the game. How much pride do you take in that, and what goes into you doing as well as you did in that?
It's everything. Pass pro is everything. You can't play in this league without being able to protect the quarterback. So obviously, I have to take a lot of pride in that. And then a day when you're having a tough day getting going, I gotta still be able to do my part on this team.
Ezekiel Elliott not with the day that he wanted to see, but once again, you look at what he's having to run behind in terms of a banged-up offensive line. He mentioned it himself. He's not blaming the offensive line by any means. Tyler Biadasz had to come in. Zach Martin was pushed out to the right tackle spot. Isaiah, it's a patch job nonetheless, but Zeke's not blaming them by any means.
Yeah, no, he definitely can't blame his offensive line. Those guys came in and they did a heck of a job. There weren't that many pressures by Seattle, to be honest with you, right? Dak had the time he needed, obviously throwing for over 500 yards. But especially when you talk about even just that opening series, I think we counted 5 blitzes by Jamal Adams just in the opening series alone, and he got nowhere near the quarterback. Maybe 1 or 2 times he got around the quarterback. But those guys did a heck of a job standing, being stout. Zeke, as he mentioned, he brought up the fact that he came in there and he helped out, right? He helped out. He couldn't get the ball rolling as far as his running. So guess what? The least I can do is help my team by blocking.
Yeah, and the thing about it is they held up until about a minute left in the game. Then you saw the 1 sack, and then he had to escape from the other guy, spin around and throw it. So these guys held together. And once again, Coach Philman, great job. Zach, Looney, Biadasz, all you guys adjusting and making moves. Hey, just need a week to work because it'll be the same next week.
Hopefully next week you get Lyle Collins back and maybe Tyron Smith. We'll see. There's still a little uncertainty there. He tried to go today, wasn't able to do so. But when we come back, we hear from Dak Prescott, another 450-plus yard game. He went for 472. We hear what he has to say after this here on Cowboys OT. Back here on Cowboys OT, Dak Prescott accounting for almost 500 total yards of the offensive output for the Dallas Cowboys today. Fell 2 yards shy, but he also had 3 turnovers. Here's what QB1 had to say after the loss.
Dak, can you just start by talking about on that when you had the first down on the 22-yard line with 25 seconds left? Just take us through those sequence of plays and what didn't happen for you there.
Yeah, I mean, didn't get a couple opportunities to push the ball in the end zone. Obviously, it's hard to just to give you the analysis right off the bat. I mean, got to go look at it, got to see the whole 22 on film, but we just didn't give ourselves a chance and opportunity to take some shots at the end zone. Obviously, I had a little chance at the last one. I just tried to give my guys a shot. We came short.
Dak, on that throw there at the end, did it kind of slip out of your hands? Did you have a good grip on it?
I mean, obviously it wasn't as nice of a spiral as I wanted to. I'm pretty sure it slipped a little bit. Didn't have my feet underneath me, obviously, but wish I could have maybe bought a couple of more seconds. But once again, I got to go back and check it on film. Maybe I could have set my feet. Who knows? Who knows right now? I've got to go look at it.
Dad, can you go through the turnovers, the interception at the end of the first half, and then starting out the second half with the fumble there? What happened on those plays?
Yeah, the first one, obviously the ball was just a little behind Coop right there, and the guy makes a great play, jumps the route, comes up with the ball. Can't do that. I mean, obviously it results in them getting a touchdown right before half, and then we come out at halftime and pretty much a strip sack as I'm trying to throw the ball comes out, and another turnover that results in a touchdown. And I mean, simple as that. That's how you lose games. So we've got to, me personally and everybody, we got to be better protecting the ball.
On the last play, it was just third down. Do you wish you just would have spiked it and be able to play one more?
I mean, right there, guys were in the end zone. I mean, obviously, I didn't think the guy was going to necessarily get an interception, but I was going to throw it up, give ourselves a chance to make a catch, and then, hey, if it goes incomplete, then we would have another chance. So, I mean, I'm not going to be upset with the decision I made there.
How used to you being in these situations, and how much do you relish the opportunity there at the end to kind of, answer Russell each time that you were able to answer him? Yeah,
I mean, for sure. I want the ball in my hands. I'm never going to shy away from the moment of having the ball in my hands, having a chance to win the game. I want to make those throws, and I want to have that opportunity. So we've just got to be better, starting with myself, of converting those and making more of these games, one-scored games, wins for us. And I know we will. We'll just go back this week of a tough practice, have some tough practices, get back on it, pay attention to the details, and we'll change this thing around. I mean, we've got a long way to go. We're just 1-2.
Dak Prescott had 47 passing attempts last week, 57 this week, a new career high, Isaiah. The third time he's gone over 50 in the attempts category, 1 and 2 in those games. What did you think about having to play from behind and how Dak performed?
Yeah, if you have to throw the ball 57 times, you are playing from behind. So all the Cowboys fans out there, you don't want your quarterback, Dak Prescott, throwing the ball no more than 30, 35 times a game, right? The way in which this team is built, you have great receivers. That's awesome, right? But you also have a great running back. And any time in which you can't get that running game going and you let the opposing team get ahead, now you have to throw your way back into the game. And that's what you saw here today. It's not a great formula for wins. And obviously today we saw the result of that.
When you get up over 40 throws, man, you start talking about interceptions.
Yeah.
You talking about, like you said, not having your feet up under you because you're pressing. If we can just balance this out just a little bit more, get shorter passes. It ain't like you got to be, we got to go deep. When you have to go deep continuously because you're behind, the chances increases for interception. So they just got to gather themselves together. Like you said, they 1 and 2, got Cleveland coming in. Control yourself, and you'll be back in this race.
He definitely had to kind of maneuver around the pocket a little bit and deal with that Seattle pass rush, while on the other side of the football, Seattle had to deal with the Dallas pass rush, which was headed up by Alden Smith. Here's what he had to say after his 3-sack day.
Alden, obviously a disappointing loss, 38 points the Seahawks scored. To you, what stands out most about the offensive success that the Seattle was able to have over the course of the game?
What's the question?
To you, what stood out defensively with the Seahawks' success. He scored 38 points. What were your kind of takeaways as to why the defense, to some degree, struggled today?
Well, we obviously wanted to take away Russell's ability to run and scramble against us and make plays, and just try to limit his playmaking ability. And I feel like we did a pretty good job of that. Obviously, we got to do some things better.
How frustrating is it when he's standing in the pocket back there 3 and 4 seconds at a time and you're still trying to get to him?
I think it's just important that you don't let him frustrate you and discourage your rush. He does a good job of keeping plays active, and it was something that we had prepared for. And so something we knew going in, and it was just, we got to make more plays next time.
It's something to look at. It doesn't make for great television, Alden Smith there, but even after an individual day that he had and the complete success that he had in terms of 3 sacks, that's a guy who wants to win, and you can tell that overall. Alden Smith with 3 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. When we come back here on Cowboys OT, we'll continue to wrap things up. 38-31, the final score from Seattle.
The Cowboys OT was brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Wendy's. Wendy's new Pretzel Bacon Pub Cheeseburger. At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Seattle gets the best of the Dallas Cowboys here in Week 3, 38-31. As we take a look at some of the final stats, 500-plus total yards again. Rushing yards not necessarily there, guys, and really the turnovers paid dividends for the Seahawks, and it's a big reason why they won. But as we move into Week 4, we move into Cleveland Browns Week, what are something that you need to look at and work on if you're the Cowboys?
I know one thing. They got 2 good running backs over there at Cleveland. We're going to have to mash up and make sure that these guys don't get going, because Baker Mayfield is having a field day off a play-action pass. So if we can control what's happening there, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think that, in addition to that, you have to look at the time of possession, right? We have to be able to control the ball going into this next week because of those guys
Right.
and their ability. When you talk about Hunt and you talk about Chubbs, those guys are toting the rock like nobody's business. And then you obviously have Odell Beckham and things of that nature on that side of the ball. But our team is going to have to figure this out. They have to figure it out quickly because this can turn around and be really ugly.
The silver lining is you're still tied for first place in ugly as this season is. You're 1-2 and you're tied with Washington right now. Philly ain't gonna do nothing. So just get yourself together, get consistent, and let's go play some football.
Yeah, I guess it's not necessarily silver lining to look at the fact you could have distanced yourself a little bit.
Right.
But no one else in the NFC East won, so you are technically still tied for first place in the division. That's going to do it here for Cowboys OT. For Isaiah Stanback and Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Youmans. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.